What are the, if I had to summarize, the 3 or 4 key areas of reforms underpinning the program? First, on the fiscal, it's really trying to reduce the financing constraints, trying to keep debt, return it on a, keep it sustainable, and going back to its 50% of GDP target. And here you have the first year of the program, a number of measures on the revenue and the expenditure front. And at the same time, this will reduce the deficit, but it also preserves or tries to create space for higher social spending. And you have health spending, social assistance programs that will be going up in terms of spending, and under the program would be monitored through indicative targets that are set as part of the program. A lot of the reform, we can talk about them, domestic revenue mobilization. There's a strategy that was put in place, better management of public investment, control of domestic arrears, which could affect also private sector, better cash management. All of those are part of the reforms that will be pursued or supporting the fiscal strategy. At the same time, it will be important that debt management remains prudent, looking at maturity, looking at refinancing costs, and it's quite important that concessional financing, other concessional financing, continue to be sought to try to continue reducing borrowing costs going forward. And here we welcome the participation also of Uganda in the debt service suspension initiative. Now, when the shock materializes, it's also important, and under the program, the authorities are trying to keep the debt path, debt reduction path, aligned with what was planned, and therefore, when the shocks come, some contingency measures are going to be looked upon. For example, to try to reduce non-essential spending or reallocate, and we've seen that earlier this week. When, as a response to the COVID-19 wave, additional measures have been put in place for additional spending on health, which is needed, oxygen and others, and then some budget reallocation would be looked at to make sure that the financing constraints